Every casino you have ever seen has two doors. One door leads inside, the other door leads out. And here is the strange part. The people walking through each door often look identical. Same clothes, same faces, same nervous energy. But one group is about to start living, and the other group is quietly choosing to stop. This video is about those two doors, and the uncomfortable truth that most of the decisions you make today are pushing you toward one of them without you even noticing. Imagine for a moment that humanity practices only two religions, not Christianity or Islam or Buddhism, just two, the Church of the Rising Sun and the Temple of the Setting Sun. In the Church of the Rising Sun, the central belief is simple. Tomorrow is worth fighting for. The body is a garden. Time is a gift you unwrap slowly. The followers of this religion wake up and ask themselves one question: what can I do today to see another sunrise? In the Temple of the Setting Sun, the belief is different. Today is all that matters. The body is a candle meant to burn bright and fast. Time is a prison you escape through pleasure. The followers of this religion wake up and ask themselves a different question: what can I do today to feel alive right now, even if it costs me tomorrow? Now here is where it gets interesting. Nobody signs up for these religions consciously. There is no membership card, no initiation ceremony, no special robes. Instead, you join one of these religions through 1,000 tiny choices made over years and decades. Every cigarette is a small prayer to the setting sun. Every morning run is a small hymn to the rising sun. Every night of sleep, sacrificed to scroll through your phone, is an offering to one temple. Every vegetable eaten when you wanted a burger is a candle lit in the other. And the strangest part, you can switch religions mid-sentence. You can worship the rising sun at breakfast and kneel before the setting sun by lunch. Most people do exactly this. They are practicing two religions at once and wondering why neither one delivers on its promises. Picture a line stretching from one end of a football field to the other. On the far left side stands Brian Johnson, the tech billionaire who measures every biomarker in his body, who goes to sleep at the same time every night, who has turned his existence into a science experiment with one goal: see tomorrow, and the tomorrow after that, and the one after that. On the far right side of that field stands someone very different, someone so devoted to the temple of the setting sun that they want to bring others along for the ceremony, people who end lives because they genuinely believe the sunset is more beautiful than any sunrise could ever be. Someone who has made death not just a preference but a gift they want to share. Most of us stand somewhere in the middle of that field. Imagine a grand debate hall, marble columns, wooden podiums. On one side stands a team with a banner that reads "Life is worth protecting." On the other side stands a team with a banner that reads "Death has its merits." Now, you have to pick a team. You have to walk across that stage and stand beneath one of those banners. Which one do you choose? You might argue for the second banner. Life is short anyway. Pleasure matters. We are all heading to the same destination, so why not enjoy the ride? Overpopulation is a problem. Resources are limited. Who am I to cling to existence when the planet is groaning under the weight of humanity? The human mind is a spectacular justification machine. It can make any choice feel reasonable. It can wrap any habit in logic. It can dress any vice in philosophical clothing. Watch how the machine works. The cigarette becomes a meditation on mortality. The third dream becomes a celebration of the present moment. The skipped workout becomes an act of self-compassion. The week of sleepless nights becomes dedication to the craft. The processed food becomes a rejection of obsessive health culture. Each justification sounds convincing in isolation. Each excuse passes the sniff test if you do not look too closely. But zoom out, stack all those justifications on top of each other. Build a tower from all those reasonable explanations, and you will notice the tower is leaning, always leaning toward the door that leads out of the casino. The justification machine never runs out of material. It can manufacture excuses faster than you can make decisions. So the question is not whether you can justify your choices. Of course you can. The question is which direction your justifications are nudging you. Toward sunrise or toward sunset. Here is where the philosophy gets tangled in a beautiful way. Imagine a poker tournament. 500 players started the day with chips and dreams. Hours have passed. Eliminations have piled up, and now only 11 players remain. 10 of them will win money. 1 of them will walk away with nothing. This is called the bubble, and it creates a fascinating psychological phenomenon. One type of player decides to fold every single hand. They refuse to play. They sit on their hands, terrified that if they put a single chip in the middle, they will be the one who goes home with nothing. They are technically still in the game, but they have stopped playing. They are breathing, but they are not alive in the arena. They are so afraid of losing their seat that they have forgotten why they sat down in the first place. Then there is the player who understands that the only way to win the tournament is to be willing to lose it. This player looks at a strong hand and realizes that to worship the game, they must risk the exit. They play to win, not just to avoid losing. Life presents the same bubble every single day. You can play scared, fold every hand, avoid every risk, calculate every calorie and every step and every minute. Turn your existence into a defensive crouch where the goal is simply not to lose. Or you can play to win. Take calculated risks. Pursue things that matter even when the outcome is uncertain. Build something that might fail. Love someone who might leave. Create something that might be criticized. Live in a way that acknowledges death without being paralyzed by it. Here is the paradox. Playing scared is itself a form of death worship. The person so terrified of losing that they never really play is already practicing the religion of the setting sun. They have confused survival with living. They have mistaken the absence of loss for the presence of victory. The fearful player is not on the side of life. Fear has quietly converted them, because a life spent in a padded cell to avoid a bruise is a life that has already been surrendered. This brings us to the strange and counterintuitive truth at the heart of this whole framework. If you want to worship life with any real devotion, you must first become comfortable with death. Think of the samurai tradition of meditating on mortality each morning, rooted in the principle of Joju Shinimi, which translates to always being a dead body, not because they wanted to die, but because they wanted to live without the chains of fear. A warrior who has accepted the possibility of death in battle does not waste energy on anxiety. Their sword arm is steady, their decisions are clear, their life has a brightness that only comes from looking directly at darkness. Think of the athlete who visualizes losing before a championship game, not because they believe they will lose, but because they want to empty themselves of the fear that makes muscles tight and thoughts cluttered. The visualization is a form of inoculation. Face the worst so you can perform your best. Think of the entrepreneur who builds as if the company might fail tomorrow, not because they expect failure, but because that mindset strips away the preciousness that leads to bad decisions. When you are not clinging to the company like a life raft, you can make clearer choices about where to steer it. The worship of life requires a strange prayer, a warrior prayer, words that sound like surrender but function as liberation. I am ready to die, but I refuse to. Remember the casino from the beginning. 2 doors, one leading in, one leading out. Both doors filled with people who look the same from a distance, but there is something I did not mention about those doors. The door leading in has a small sign above it that most people never notice. Sign reads, "No guarantee of winning, only guarantee of playing." The door leading out has a sign too. It reads a guaranteed outcome. No surprises, no risks, no more hands to play. Here is what I have come to believe. Every morning you wake up is a decision to walk through one of those doors again. Every healthy meal, every workout, every hour of sleep. These are all ways of buying more chips and sitting back down at the table. And every cigarette, every sleepless night chasing empty stimulation, every meal eaten for numbness instead of nourishment. These are all ways of sliding toward the exit. The casino does not care which door you choose. The casino will keep running long after your chips are gone. But you have opinions about this. Somewhere beneath all the justifications and philosophical debates and late night rationalizations, there is a version of you that knows which door leads toward more life. So here is where I land after all of this. You can invent countless reasons to walk toward the exit. Some of those reasons will sound smart, some will sound compassionate. The human mind is endlessly creative when it comes to justifying the direction of its own steps. But ask yourself this: if you had to stand on that debate stage, which one would you choose? Life is awesome, or death is awesome? And if you choose the banner of life, then the path forward becomes strangely simple. Not easy, but simple. Play to win, not to survive. Make peace with the possibility of loss so thoroughly that fear cannot convert you into an accidental death worshipper. Trade anxiety for clarity. Trade desperation for steadiness. Trade clinging for commitment. The optimal state, if such a thing exists, might sound something like this. I am ready for the cards to run cold. I am ready for the chips to disappear. I am prepared for the table to close, but I refuse to fold this hand. I refuse to walk toward that exit while there are still cards to play. And when you look at your morning routine through this lens, when you examine your habits and relationships and choices through this framework, a strange thing might happen. The casino starts to feel less like a trap and more like a gift. The two doors stop looking identical, and the sign above the entrance starts to glow a little brighter. No guarantee of winning, only guarantee of playing. And maybe that guarantee is enough. Maybe the permission to play is the whole point. Maybe every sunrise is an invitation to sit back down at the table and push your chips forward one more time. Because the casino has two doors, and you are still standing in front of them. And this morning, at least, you get to choose which one you walk through.